Hello there, motherfuckers. And I didn't get around to talking about this movie for a while, but the Joker trailer was something I definitely wanted to talk about here. Cause you all know that I'm pretty big fan. I might be alone on this. I know I'm not the only one, but I know that I'm more in the minority here when it comes to liking the DC movies. I make no qualms about liking BVS, Batman versus Superman, Justice League, Aquaman, which I think a lot more people like. Also, I noticed that one people are kind of a little bit begrudging about. So I think when the movie was first released, people were saying it was great. Now they've kind of degraded to saying that it's just okay, but whatever. So the Joker is now coming out, and I watched the trailer. Looks like it's going to be pretty good. I'm a big fan of Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. I'll never forget watching Walk the Line and how he portrayed Johnny Cash. And the guy is when it comes to acting, I believe he's a method actor. He's amazing. The way how this guy plays roles is unbelievable. I don't think there's anyone quite like him. There's a few others that are method actors, but Joaquin Phoenix, he's got a unique look. He's got a unique way about him. He's definitely enigmatic, you could say. And so he's probably the perfect pick if you're going to pick a new Joker. The only problem that I really have about this movie, I think it looked good. There's not going to be any Batman in this movie unless he shows up as a surprise, but I guess that wouldn't really make sense given the context of this movie. It's more of an origin and Batman's not around, which is a little bit odd when you kind of think about it. This kind of makes less sense that Batman is not around. I didn't really have a problem with Venom not, including Spider-Man, because that made a little bit, more sense. Venom doesn't really need to have Spider-Man. He's already had his solo comic books, even though they took place after Spider-Man met him, but that's besides the point. They want to just concentrate on the character. I appreciate that. But one of my biggest problems, I've kind of got two problems here with this movie. So the problem is not with the trailer, because I think it looks good. I think Joaquin Phoenix, great facial expressions, great look, when he has the makeup off. The first problem I have is the makeup. He starts off as a clown, but then he kind of takes off the wig, and there's different moments in the trailer that he has slightly different makeup, but it's still too clownish. I don't really like this makeup look that he has. To tell you the truth, even though I was not a big fan of the grill of Jared Leto, I still actually prefer that look more. And I know a lot of people are not, on board with the Suicide Squad Joker, but I was one of the biggest critics of it. I think I might have even said it here on this channel. I'm not really too sure, but I made some Lil Wayne jokes at the time saying that he kind of looked like Lil Wayne with the gold teeth, but he impressed me. And I kind of knew that, Jared Leto was a good actor already, so I wasn't really expecting the performance to be bad. It actually ended up being very good. It definitely paled in comparison to previous Jokers, but it definitely was pretty welcomed by me. Now, I'm not a big fan of the makeup job, though, that they've given Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know, it just... I guess they try to go for something, more clownish, but it's too typical. Okay, I don't want to say party clown, but it's just not something that I like. It's not super terrible. It's not awful. It's just makeup, but really, I think they could have done a lot better. Maybe at the very end he'll change his makeup because this is still an early Joker, so I don't want to go too hard on it, but I've got to be honest in these videos. That's what I'm all about, so I just can't say that it's something I like when I don't. The second thing, and this would be really the last negative I have, but probably the biggest negative that outweighs the makeup and me just not liking the design, because that doesn't really matter. The movie will be made that way no matter what. And I'm not going to not see a movie based on just not liking a certain change. That would be foolish. We all have our preferences. I'm not going to let a mere preference, a single preference, ruin the movie, even though it's, the look of a character is pretty crucial, I'd say. But the simple fact that this is how many reboots? Okay, let's go through the Jokers throughout time. So, Cesar Romero, that was back in '66. So, you can't really count that. That was way in the past already. You know what I mean? So, we're talking about over 50 years ago. So, we can't really count that. Great performance there. But, Jack Nicholson sadly only got to play that character once. They killed it off in the first Tim Burton movie. Still my favorite Joker. I know a lot of people have moved on to Heath Ledger. I think too many people are a little bit too hasty to just say, oh, Heath Ledger is way better than Jack Nicholson. I'm like, how did people make that decision so fast? Like, I think you really need to go back and watch the Tim Burton movie you haven't seen in a while. But, we've had Jack Nicholson. We've had Heath Ledger. We've had Jared Leto. And I understand that these Jokers are a few, years apart. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting a little bit older and getting cranky. But there's just too many Jokers already. You know what I mean? I understand it. Heath Ledger is dead. He's gone. God rest his soul. It was a great performance and everything. But I don't know. It's Joker burnout at this point. There's just way too many of them. You know what I mean? And the thing is, what's annoying to me is you already introduced a pretty good Joker in Jared Leto. Now, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if, Jared Leto didn't want to do the role or whatever it is. But, I feel like you pay the guy the right amount of money. And there's so much money in Hollywood. There's so much money from DC right now. You could definitely afford him again. I don't think Jared Leto's not like a huge, massive superstar. He's a big actor, but I don't see why they couldn't get him. It's just very annoying to me, all the reboots and, I don't know. Like, even the fact that they're even... I will see this movie. I'll probably enjoy it. It looks good. I have high hopes. I don't have any problem admitting that. I'm not like saying that this movie is going to be amazing, but I'm expecting something very decent at the least, something entertaining. Because I have enjoyed the past DC movies, and I went into them with pretty, not super high hopes, but I thought that they were going to be good. I kind of figured that I would enjoy them based on the trailers and what I had already learned about the movies. And, and I was pleasantly, I can't say surprised, but I was pleasantly entertained. So this, film, I kind of go into it a little bit like begrudgingly, like, again, like, again, we're revisiting the Joker. It's like, it's just that we've visited this character so many times, and he's a great character. Don't get me wrong. He's an amazing character. This is a classic character. This is one of the greatest superhero villains of all time, one of the greatest comic book villains of all time, however you want to say that. But we've just visited him so many times. We visit him in different incarnations on Gotham. I fell behind on Gotham. I know people were asking me to review that. Scott Casey Gale reviews Gotham though. I see that, on YouTube. So you should go check out his reviews. But as far as me, I'll maybe catch up on it one day. I don't know. It's not that I wasn't liking the show. It's just sometimes it ever happen to you, just like kind of don't feel like watching it one week, and then that turns into 2 weeks and 3 weeks and 4 weeks, and by the time you know, you've missed 2 seasons. So that's kind of like the scenario I'm in. So one of these days we'll get around to it on this channel, but just not anytime soon. It's kind of like, yeah, so with me, I've already seen multiple Jokers, playing the video games, and they had a different Joker in, what was it, what was what was the one between Arkham City and Arkham Knight? Arkham Origins. They had a different guy that was not Mark Hamill, and they went back to Mark Hamill. It's just like, oh my god, there's so many different incarnations of this character. And then I think, I didn't watch it, but The Killing Joke was released, and there's a different voice for the Joker on there. And then they have Under the Red Hood, right? Isn't the Joker in that too? And that's a different voice. Like, my god, there's just so many different voiceovers, different actors for the Joker. It's just like all within the same time frame. Just a little sick of it, all I'm saying. I'm not saying that's not a good movie. This is not again a knock against Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's going to be great. I'm just saying, ease up on the Joker a little bit. You know what I mean? Now, I understand, like, doing a movie on another, like, Batman villain. Like, let's be honest, like, the Riddler or the Penguin, great villains, but I just don't think they'd make good solo movies. It's cool to know that the Joker is just so great that a movie with him just in it would work, but no other villain. It's kind of like the same thing with Spider-Man. Like, a Dr. Octopus solo movie would not work. A Scorpion solo movie would not work, but a Venom solo movie would work. Possibly a Carnage one. But, you probably take in the right direction by throwing him in there with Venom to play off of one another. So that's kind of cool to know. It's just, it's definitely Joker burnout if I ever did see it. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the trailer. Like I said, I think it's a good trailer. It's just, there's so many reboots going on. So many reintroductions, reintroductions of characters. It's got me dizzy already. So guys, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. And guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.